Have you ever been in a room full of panic and noticed one person who simply didn't join in? Everyone else is scrambling, voices tangled, emotions raw, but that one individual, their breath is steady. Their gaze is watchful but not reactive. It's easy to label that as strength, as unshakable composure. We admire it, even envy it. But if you've stood beside someone like that, you might have felt a whisper of something else. A subtle chill. A quiet question, how are they so untouchable? We're taught to believe that stillness equals peace, that the steadiest person in the storm is the strongest. But what if that calm wasn't born of confidence? What if it was forged in a furnace where reacting felt dangerous? This isn't a story about emotional superiority. It's a story about intelligent adaptation. Sometimes the calmest soul in the room isn't the most peaceful. They're the one who learned long ago that becoming still was the only way to endure. We often mistake calm for a personality trait, a natural, grounded state, but true, consistent calm is rarely an innate quality. It's far more often a learned skill, a practiced pattern, and patterns form for a reason because at some critical point they worked. For many who embody this stillness, expressing emotion didn't lead to safety, it led to escalation. Explaining didn't lead to understanding, it led to greater conflict. So the internal system adapted, less outward reaction, more internal regulation, not because they didn't feel but because feeling openly became too costly. This is why their calm seems so universal across different crises. The response looks identical not because the emotions are the same but because the protective pattern is, and that pattern is efficient. It conserves energy. It minimizes risk. This shifts the entire question. Instead of asking, why are they so calm? We should ask, what did this calmness originally protect them from? Seeing it as a protective adaptation, not an identity, changes everything. You stop romanticizing it. You start recognizing its intelligent, often painful, origin. It made profound sense when it formed, and if it's no longer serving them, it can be reshaped. What we rarely discuss is what existed before the calm. Most people who appear unflappable today were not always this way. In fact, many were once deeply reactive, just internally. They were the chronic overthinkers. The ones who replayed every word, who monitored every shift in energy, who tried desperately to preempt disaster through sheer mental effort. They believed that if they cared more, tried harder, and stayed more vigilant, they could control outcomes. This emotional labor was exhausting, and for a time it felt necessary. Until it didn't. The turning point arrived quietly. The nervous system learned that constant vigilance wasn't protection, it was depletion. That pouring more emotion into a situation didn't guarantee stability. So slowly, the volume dial turned down, responses grew measured, silence began to feel less like fear and more like relief. This is where calm is profoundly misunderstood. From the outside, it looks like mastery. From the inside, it often begins as exhaustion. Not a decision to be detached, but a decision, often unconscious, to stop hemorrhaging energy into spaces that gave nothing back. The calm you witnessed didn't replace anxiety, it grew from its ashes. True calm rarely arrives as a flash of insight, more often it arrives as a strategic retreat. After enough emotional strain, something in the psyche pulls back. Not in a dramatic collapse, but in a quiet disengagement. The moment when reacting stops feeling useful and starts feeling perilous. This is where lived experience teaches a hard lesson. Sometimes, less engagement is safer. This first version of calm isn't wisdom, it's a ceasefire. The system isn't relaxed, it's in conservation mode, and that makes perfect sense. When the world has felt unpredictable, distance creates a fragile sense of control. This reframes calm not as a moral achievement but as a brilliant survival response. It protected something fragile when it was most vulnerable, and like all survival strategies, it worked. But it wasn't designed to be a permanent way of life. The real shift occurs deeper than thought. Long before the mind rationalizes anything, the nervous system adapts. Through repeated exposure to overwhelm, the body learns to widen its tolerance. Emotions still rise, but they no longer instantly hijack the system. A space emerges, a crucial pause where choice becomes possible. This isn't suppression. Suppression is forcefully pushing emotions down. This is regulation. Allowing the emotion to move through without letting it take the wheel. True calm is not the absence of storm, but the ability to stand within it. This is why deeply calm people often speak little in heated moments. Their silence isn't emptiness, it's the sound of a system skillfully managing its energy. It's learned through experiences that force adaptation. Now we must enter an uncomfortable but vital distinction. Not all calm is equal. From the outside, regulation and dissociation can look identical, a steady voice, a neutral face. Internally, they are worlds apart. Regulation is anchored presence, dissociation is protective distance. When someone is regulated, they are fully here, feeling sensations in real time but not overwhelmed by them. Their calm is flexible, they can access warmth or firmness as needed. Dissociative calm is different. It's quiet but not grounded, emotions aren't flowing, they're muted. The body isn't settled, it's numb. This calm doesn't stem from safety, it stems from a learned detachment formed when staying fully present felt untenable. It's the nervous system declaring, if I don't fully feel this, I can survive it. This is why some calm individuals can feel strangely far away even in conversation. Intimacy becomes difficult. Joy and sorrow register at the same muted volume. This distinction is crucial because we often praise composure without asking its cost. We reward stillness even when it's built on disconnection. A simple test. Regulated calm expands your capacity for life. Dissociative calm shrinks it. One allows deeper engagement, the other keeps life at a careful arm's length. And it's vital to understand dissociation isn't a failure. It's a brilliant, short-term solution that protected a vulnerable psyche. But when the environment changes, the strategy can too. A major misconception is that calm people feel less. The opposite is often true. Many feel with great intensity and notice subtle shifts others miss. What changed isn't the depth of feeling but their relationship to it. Emotional mastery is feeling fully without being flooded. Anger can arise without becoming rage. Sadness can visit without becoming collapse. This is emotional fluency, the ability to let a feeling pass through you without turning it into your entire story. They carry an internal knowing, this too shall pass. Not as naive optimism but as lived memory. They've witnessed emotions crest and fall enough times to trust the process. This is why they can be with discomfort without rushing to fix it. Why silence doesn't panic them. This capacity creates a rare safety in relationships, a space where emotions are allowed but not weaponized. Calm holds a subtle power. In chaos, it slows everything down. In conflict, it disrupts the predictable dance of escalation. When one person refuses to react, manipulation falters. Drama starves. This is why calm can be intimidating. Those who are regulated see more, they observe motives and inconsistencies while others are swept up in reaction. But this power carries a quiet tax. In a world that mistakes intensity for authenticity, calm is often misunderstood. Your restraint is read as indifference. Your thoughtful silence is seen as disengagement. You can feel respected yet profoundly alone. There's an internal cost too. If calm hardens into an inflexible rule, it becomes a cage. What began as protection morphs into avoidance. Not expressing feels safer than risking misunderstanding. Not engaging seems easier than facing potential disruption. The pivotal question isn't whether calm is good or bad. It's whether it remains a flexible choice or has become a rigid prison. The goal is to evolve calm from a suit of armor into a conscious choice. Armor is rigid, you wear it constantly for defense. Choice is fluid. You can be still when it serves you and lean in when connection calls. This rebuilding is gentle. It's about pausing to feel your feet on the ground before responding. It's allowing your body to settle before your mind decides. These small moments retrain your nervous system to stay present without bracing for impact. You learn you don't have to disappear to stay safe. Think of a deep lake. On the surface, wind whips up waves, it looks chaotic. But fathoms below, there is a profound, undisturbed stillness. The storm cannot reach it. People who have mastered calm have learned to anchor themselves in that depth. They haven't escaped life's storms. They've simply learned not to be shattered by every gust. This is what calm becomes when it transcends mere survival, not silence, not withdrawal, but profound depth. If you learn to be still because you once had to, you are not broken. You adapted, and now you get to decide what that stillness becomes. If this exploration resonated with you, if it gave words to a quiet experience, please like this video. It supports our channel winds of thought immensely. Share your reflections in the comments. Your story might help someone else feel less alone.